Hey everyone, welcome back. We're taking a look at this Murray 24-inch riding mower today. It's got the Briggs & Stratton 875 series engine on it. Basically a glorified push mower with wheels. We cleaned the carburetor on it, flushed the fuel system, got it running great, but as soon as you release the brake, it dies out. I'm going to show you how to diagnose and repair that here. It doesn't take too long on this. I did want a little bit of input from you guys as far as which direction we should take the channel in. Should we do more repair videos? Should we do more review videos? Should we cover more of the business side of things? What direction do you think the channel should go in? We've got a few big things coming up. I was going to show you just some of the stuff we have that we're working on around the shop. Kind of right now just looks like a John Deere repair shop. Seems like everything we have in here is John Deere green. We've got this gator coming up, 6x4, not idling correctly, having some issues staying running, and essentially has no power. It's going to be our video that'll come out next week. But I do look forward to your guys' input as far as what we should do as far as the channel. Which direction should we take? And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. So most of you, as we're taking a look at this, are going to say, oh, hey, it's the seat switch. Seat switch isn't working right. Take a look at the seat switch. Well, he's got the seat switch bypassed. Does that mean anything? No, it sure doesn't. But if you test this switch tests perfectly fine. It is not bad. Now, he has done kind of some wiring to this thing. I'm not really sure what this wire here is, or the ground wire that's just kind of sitting against the frame. So could be questionable as far as that goes. I'm sure he was just wanting his mower to run without the seat obviously hooked up. But if we come over here, you can also test. We've got a PTO switch here. You can test that one. I'll put a link down below if you want to see how to test those switches. Pretty standard stuff. There is a reverse switch here that'll kill the engine if your blades are on when you try to go in reverse. If this tab wasn't hooked up, then it would be able to go in reverse no problem with the blades engaged. And there is one more safety switch exactly like this that sits directly under here. So it sits right below here. If you go up from the bottom, you can see it pretty easily. Testing all these switches very quickly tells us that that's not the case. It's not a safety switch issue. So either he has something going on with the wiring, with everything he's tried to bypass, or could it be this other simple trick? Something that normally I don't see on the seat switches on these, because the 30-inch seat switch is a little bit different. But this one here I went over before in one of the other videos, and it's the same issue. So I reached through here and I went ahead and pulled the connector that the seat switch connects to. Of course, the tab's broken off. Looks like it's been that way for quite a while. But one of the first things I noticed is it has this safety piece that many of these other ones do that's supposed to ensure you can't just unplug it and run it without the safety, without the switch plugged in. Now, what I do is I come in here. All I do is kind of push at this tab at the back, kind of through until this is out, and I actually pull that safety right on out of there. Full disclosure, I got to this point before I even really thought about making the video, but we tested all the safeties first, not thinking this was one of these switches. So I tested everything before the seat switch, come to the seat switch, go to test it, and I'm like, oh, what do you know? This piece that's supposed to be a safety switch is what's been causing the issue the entire time. Now all we have to do is plug it back in. It actually might not even need to be plugged in now, but we always like to leave it plugged in. If he wants to leave his safety up top there, you know, bypassed, that's on him. That's not on me. I didn't bypass any safeties on this. Well, now everything works just because of this tiny little safety piece they had in there inside that connector. So how often do you guys see this with these types of connectors on these? I see it on many different brands and models, maybe 20 or 30 times a year. So it's not a small amount, but not a extremely large amount. But trying to trace something down when it can be something as simple as this that there is no mention of in any manual anywhere is one of those that's, you know, industry knowledge is the only way that you're going to get there without knowing. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I look forward to your feedback down below. Thanks for watching, and hit that like and subscribe button or the bell if you enjoyed the content.